What did you do? Wait. Listen. What did you do? No.
It's funny how some things are just really damn good. Lost did what so many others claim to do, gave us a premise segmented in mystery, leaving the audience to wonder what's going on, and they successfully did this for about 6 seasons. Notice I say about 6. The show was a monumental success for a reason, but the ending may have been a bit polarizing. I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I still don't really get it at all, and the fact that they do this and not talk about it for like a decade was kind of a dick move. But given how good and just well thought out the show was, it didn't anger me like it did some people. I don't know what the mindset was here, but I can respect that maybe it's what they wanted to do. Not everything matters, you don't have to know the whole story, maybe that's the idea. Yeah, kind of a cop-out, but if the show wasn't so damn good, it would have felt a lot more cheap. Yeah, the whole alternate timeline thing worked a lot better until we knew it was some kind of purgatory, and as you may have guessed, this is not the point of the video. You see, the fact is, Lost didn't have that many mistakes. Yeah, season 3 had a few flashbacks that shouldn't have existed, not adding anything new, making you question the character's decision-making. And we all know the other season 3 episode that's basically filler, focusing on 2 side characters that, despite always being there, basically were made up for that season. That's a whole nother video topic right there, but I will say that's a bit overhated too. All that said, there is one episode that pretty much did almost everything wrong. That episode is a very nicely titled Across the Sea, one of the last episodes. While I do see the issue with the finale, this is the one that I hate the most. I've always hated it the most. I'm gonna take the liberty and assume you know what the show is and you know the entire story. If you don't, then you shouldn't be here. The episode dives into Jacob and the Man in Black, 2 very important characters. In other words, the reason this all is happening. It's the only episode to not feature any main characters aside from, well, Jack and Kate, but that's a flashback to season 1, so I don't count that. Meaning the show's basic format is completely gone. Technically, other episodes did that too, like the one with Richard, which is way better. The reason why I don't like that is because going back and forth is the show's thing. I don't know why we ever got a purely flashback episode. And as you may recall, the previous episode was kind of one of the show's most devastating. That's the one when Sawyer doesn't listen, Sayid blows himself up, and Sun and Jin, who finally reunited after being separated for about 2 seasons, drowned. It's especially devastating because Jin could have gotten out but chose not to, instead staying with Sun. Frank potentially could have been dead too, though unlikely. So when you consider all that, 3 original characters dying in one scene, you kinda wanna see what happens next. It's only my opinion, but this is not the time to give us a full backstory episode, even if it is really important. We just witnessed the most devastating thing the show will ever throw at us, and Jacob and the Man in Black aren't exactly characters you see that often. That being said, Lost has a way of making you interested, immediately captivating the audience, but this time,
we couldn't do it!
Let's look at the main things we know going into this. The Man in Black, aka the Smoke Monster, is currently occupying Locke's body. He simply wants to leave the island. Jacob would not let him leave the island, that's why he had Ben kill him, but we don't yet know the reason why he wouldn't let him leave. The first question you may have is, why is he called the Man in Black? Maybe it's not the first question, but that is going to be answered, and it's a sign of things to come. We see them being born after a pregnant mother, Claudia, washes up on the island, in which an unnamed woman helps her. We know and will know very little about either of them. And upon having one baby, naming it Jacob, and unexpectedly having twins, well, damn it, she only picked out one name. The woman then kills her, becoming the new mother. Yeah, that is for a reason, but could she really not give him a name? The episode kind of gets around this issue by not having it brought up, but why does he have no name? Are we supposed to believe he does and we just don't hear it? I guess given the events to come, it would make sense why he wouldn't mention it, but it is kind of odd. That's not the main issue though, and the expected events go down. Jacob is more compliant while the Man in Black is not really happy to be there. Arguably for a good reason. He does inevitably find out the island is not all there is, and upon protesting, she eventually tells them that they're special. The whole not dying thing and how they can't ever kill each other is not really explained either. It does give off plot device vibes, and given the episode doesn't establish much, it could have gone a lot deeper. Instead, she shows them the light, or another plot device as I call it, says one of them must protect it, eventually, and if it goes out everywhere. Oh, and also don't go in for any reason, like that'll happen. And yeah, this is the reason why she killed their mother. Because, you know, special. But the man in black sees a vision of his real mother, tells him about the other people on the island who we haven't mentioned yet, who came there with her, and as a result he decides to go live with them, but Jacob won't go with him. These people aren't exactly developed either, we hardly see them. The detail we get is this.
They're greedy, manipulative, untrustworthy, and selfish.
And you also gotta wonder why Jacob even is this way. Overly compliant, okay with living there. I can kinda see the man in black being mysterious, but I don't see why Jacob needs to be. This again is not the biggest issue, it's actually what happens next. The man in black apparently found a way to leave the island by digging wells in the spots where the metal behaves differently, and it's actually confusing. They constructed a wheel in a well that will create a system that will allow them to leave, and that's about all we get. It's hardly explained. I think it ties into the thing that moved the island, but we really only get this.
It's a wheel. We're going to make an opening, and then I'm going to attach that wheel to a system we're building. A system that channels the water and the light. And then I'm going to turn it. I'll finally be able to leave this place.
Make of that what you will. If I'm missing something here, I apologize, but it shouldn't be this hard to understand. I mean, who even are these people? How do they know to do this? So little info is given, and I don't know why that is. Why does it have to be a mystery? Why is it so lazily explained? It's really uncommon for the show to handle something like this. Maybe they want the characters to be a mystery, but this is clearly not that. Again, if I missed something, I apologize, but I shouldn't have to actively look that up. Then the plot device logic continues, as the man in black really shouldn't have told Jacob. As they don't get along, Jacob goes and tells Mother, and when she finds out the whole plan, she knocks him out. Let the person you don't trust get near you? That's a good idea. I kinda thought you were intelligent. You figured this whole thing out. And this means Jacob must be the protector of the light instead. He's again warned, don't go inside there, but the only issue is, upon the man in black waking up to find everybody dead, and the equipment destroyed, is not too pleased. When she did this, I don't know, I really don't know if anybody does. Please tell me, how the fuck did this happen? So he kills her. Who would have seen that coming? And the answer we get for why she won't let him leave?
I love you.
Well, I assumed it was him tampering with the light or something. Not that she loved him, but whatever. This is definitely not the Lost Dino. And then things get really contrived. At this point, it's just get to where the show currently is, and this is done by a very pissed off Jacob, but throwing the man in black into the well, which he can easily and conveniently do, despite being warned that's not a good thing. He then becomes a smoke monster, being the new reason why he can't let him leave, because it could be catastrophic. And fucking damn it, is that contrived as all fuck. I mean, come on, I get that Jacob was mad, but why would he do that? He was just told not a good thing, and he just happened to get knocked out and float inside and not really resist all that much. The only intriguing thing about this is how the body and the mother are the same people we see way back in season 1. Not exactly laying the same way, that is the flashback I mentioned, and it's the only semblance of anything reminiscent of Lost here. The rest is surprisingly not good. We can debate the ending all day, but we can't debate how lazy this episode was. I know some liked it, a show this big is gonna have defenders, but for what it's supposed to be, so little is really given. What do we even know? A random person with no backstory killed some mother, stole 2 kids, and said protect the island? One's overly compliant, one's the exact opposite. They commit stupid and convenient actions to get the plot moving, like telling Jacob his plan, telling the mother his plan, Jacob making him into the smoke monster because he's mad. The wheel is explained terribly. They can't die or kill each other because couldn't even explain who the fuck the woman is, how everybody died. I don't don't think they had any ideas for this. They could have just thrown this info into any episode, or cut back and forth while something else happened, like the continuation to the last episode, which was way better, maybe the most suspenseful episode in the whole series, and we move from that to this. I understand pacing, but this is not good. It's without question the biggest issue with the show, beyond the finale, because it takes such an important aspect and doesn't do anything with it. It didn't need a whole episode, what they did do was done poorly, and given it's the only episode like it, I don't get the reasoning. When it comes to a show as complex as Lost, you have to wonder how much is planned ahead. Obviously a lot in some cases, but it's very clear this couldn't have been. There's no way that all the elements that connect here, the smoke monster, the wheel, these two pivotal characters, could have been leading up to this disappointing reveal. If you even want to call it that, you don't get a lot out of this. If anything, I feel bad for the Man in Black. Jacob's just a fucking idiot. But given what's to come, the Man in Black's clearly the antagonist, so I don't think that's the intention either. Think of it what you will, I guess. Given what the show is, many people won't like any criticism. But while rewatching the series to get away from the toxic environment that is what comes out today, I felt the need to discuss this. It's the show's one major misstep. I don't know what they were thinking. It's not perfect outside of this. How could it be? Again, the ending. But Across the Sea is easily the worst episode. Some would say the finale or the infamous expose, but for this one, it's just bad all around.
You want to leave this place, brother? Then go.
Hopefully, minor criticism of a critically acclaimed show that is for the most part really good, it won't be an issue, but let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're not angry, you can like the video, consider subscribing down below, and check out the gaming channel for the same content with games, a link in the description. I'm the Analyst, and remember kids, don't name your kids the Man in Black, unless you're really confident they're going to be a Johnny Cash fan.